Wilhelm, and this is Ann Torgerson. We will be representing the Exercise Science Department at Bellarmine University in Louisville, Kentucky. We will be conducting the Rockport 1 mile test for Exercise 360 testing and prescription.
The Rockport 1 mile walking test is a submax test that is used to determine VO2 max. This is a field-based test that is used to assess cardiorespiratory fitness for both men and women, but typically for older and or sedentary adults. A field test is also useful for testing larger groups. An advantage of this field test is that it requires very little equipment and is fairly easy to administer. This 1 mile walking test allows for the participant to walk at their own desired pace. The purpose of the Rockport 1 mile walking test is to get an estimated VO2 max by having the subject walk as fast as they can for 1 mile.
Key terms for the Rockport 1 mile test are cardiorespiratory endurance. This is the ability of the heart, lungs, and circulatory system to supply oxygen to the working muscles efficiently. Another key term is field test. This is a test carried out in the environment, not in a laboratory setting. The last key term is a VO2 max. This is the maximum rate of oxygen utilization of the muscles during exercise. I am Taryn Wilhelm, and I will be administering the Rockport 1 mile test. This is Ann Torgerson. She will be the participant for this test. I will be instructing the client to walk 1 mile as fast as she can. After completion of the test, I will record the client's time in hundredths and take her heart rate. As the administrator, I will access her heart rate on the radial pulse for 15 seconds and then multiply that number by 4 to get her exercise heart rate. The necessary equipment for this test are a stopwatch, a track or flat surface for walking, blood pressure cuff, and sphygmomanometer. The administrator should begin by collecting demographic information on the client, such as sex, age, height, weight. The administrator then should get the client's resting blood pressure and resting heart rate. The client will then be instructed to perform 2 to 5 minutes of warm-up. Upon completion of the warm-up, the client is instructed to walk 1 mile as fast as they can. Once the individual begins walking as fast as they can, the administrator starts the stopwatch. Once the client completes 1 mile, the administrator will record the time in hundredths. The administrator will also take the client's heart rate. This will be performed on the radial pulse for 15 seconds. That will then be multiplied by 4 to get the client's exercising heart rate. The administrator will then instruct the client to complete a cooldown for 2 to 5 minutes. The administrator lastly will take the results from the test and use the following equation to get an estimated VO2 max for the client. This is a completed protocol sheet including the participant's demographic information, resting blood pressure, and resting heart rate. Also is the participant's results, including walking speed, walking time, and exercising heart rate. Also provided is the VO2 max equation used to estimate the participant's VO2 max and classification. Here's a closer look of the equation that is used to estimate VO2 max along with how to use it and what to plug in. After completing the equation for this test, this is the chart that was used to estimate the participant's VO2 max. Anne has an estimated VO2 max of 57.72 milliliters per kilogram per minute. As a female in the 20 to 29-year-old age category, this places Anne in the superior category. Since this is a field-based test, issues with weather can arise. For example, if it is cold outside, the muscles require more energy to not only exercise, but have to keep themselves warm to perform the exercise. If performing this test in the cold, the participant may lose their energy faster than when performing it on a nice sunny day when it is not cold. You will essentially fatigue at a faster rate during this type of conditions. Dressing appropriately according to the weather is also essential. Another common testing-related issue is that this test is too easy for highly fit people. Therefore, the results are not as accurate with these types of individuals. Also, with this test involving a mile walk, it is not feasible for all populations. This test may not be ideal for individuals who are unable to walk at that distance. To improve performance for this assessment, I would recommend the client to start a walking program. By engaging in a walking program, the client would increase their aerobic capacity. I would also encourage the client to engage in other aerobic activities other than walking. The more aerobic activity performed, the greater improvements in aerobic capacity. The Rockport 1 mile walking test is a submaximal test that can be used to estimate VO2 max. This assessment is a very easy to administer assessment. For more information on cardiorespiratory fitness or the Rockport 1 mile walking test, please visit the ACSM website or PubMed Central. Thank you for watching.